My roommate, Guy Priest, was a man about campus at Washington State College. He did everything well. He was a junior standing, president of I don't know how many campus clubs and organizations. He was physically fit and well balanced. The head guy for everyone living in our wing of the dorm at Washington State College. He was my roommate second semester, spring of 1959. Just to burn off energy, he and I often went jogging around campus late at night. He was a sociology major and I was a physics major. We had common ground. We both came from farms, and I knew he was always rooting for the underdog. He was a lot better socially than I was. I usually stayed home on weekend when he always had a date with some new interesting girl. Late one Friday afternoon, Guy donned his leather sweater and led a boisterous campus-wide march and a rally that would end with the crowning of a prom queen around 11 p.m. As he left our dorm room, he told me he was escorting one of the prom queen candidates at the ball, and he'd pop back in around 10:30, take a quick shower, and don his suit and not be back to our room until after midnight. I sat in our room and studied. I liked Guy a lot, had many lighthearted and deep conversations with him. I had no idea now where the idea came from I should play a trick on Guy. He used a lot of antiperspirant, and late one evening that night I got the idea to take one of his used antiperspirant squeeze bottles from the trash and fill it with blue food coloring dye from like Easter eggs and place it where he kept his shower gear. With a feeling of glee and both guilt, I wandered off before he came back to do his quick turnaround in the room. I came back to our empty room around midnight and crawled into bed, but I could not get to sleep. I wondered what kind of retribution he would bring upon me. I heard him come into our study room, and soon after he came to the room we slept in, and he got into bed. I was in the top bunk, and he was in the bottom. A few minutes later, he started quietly snickering, kind of shook the bed. He said, "Hey, Brown, wake up. You really got me." We both started laughing, and I told him I had no idea what came over me. He had indeed showered, and racing against the clock to get to his queen candidate he was to escort, he ran back from the shower down the hall to our room, and in front of the mirror over the sink in our room, hoisted his arm and squirted his antiperspirant into his armpit and then thoroughly rubbed it in. He did one armpit and just started the other when he realized something was not right. Instead of just wiping it off and using one of the many other squeeze bottles, he ran back down the hall and showered again. He told me it was one of the greatest stunts ever pulled on him, and best of all, no one got hurt in the process. He swore he enjoyed it so much he would not retaliate, and he never did. There was another story that in the Grange Hall, Johnson Grange Hall, Guy had a Nash, and the Nash four-door car, or two-door, I don't remember which, you could actually fold down and create a bed to sleep in. So one night, whatever group Guy was involved with, I wasn't involved with this, but the other guys got together and they pulled down the front back of the front seat, leveled it all out, made a bed, they put flowers on the dashboard. They got all rigged up, spread a little perfume around in it, had sheets and blanket, and it was almost impossible to sit on that seat because it moved forward too. And to use the pedals because it was a car that had a gas pedal and a clutch pedal and a brake pedal. But anyway, sure enough, at the very last minute, he had to drive that and the girl that was with him back to the campus, and he made it. He told me all about it, and I said I had nothing to do with that one. Guy was a really cool guy. He went off into the Peace Corps. He married he married a pure Chinese woman. Her family didn't want him at all. They were in Borneo when they got married. He moved back, and now he lives in around Tacoma, Washington, and I think he has 4 sons still in China that are all married happily. June died a while back, and I think the guy had to have gosh, I can't remember if it was a liver transplant or major transplant. And as far as I know, he's still living. I keep up every once in a while. We exchange things on Facebook, our birthdays and that sort of thing.